All right, welcome back everyone to another stream on this channel. This is just going to be a 5-minute recap of our 3-hour show earlier today, where me and a couple of friends discussed the possibilities and what could have actually went down on July 13 with the Trump attempted assassination. I'm going to try to keep this to 5 minutes, and we are going right into screen share. I'm actually going to share the entire screen because I'll have something else to show you guys then after. The other thing I want to do is turn on computer audio, share computer sound just in case, even though I did mute most of the videos. Real quick, today is also the day that Joe Biden has decided not to run for re-election, though now he should be stepping down as president. If he's not fit to run for re-election, he should not be fit to be president either. That's what I've expected. But once again, we will see where that goes. Okay, so what I want to point your attention to is all of the links that I'm about to reference are in the video description. So please watch them in full. I will briefly cover them for a second. We're not going to listen to their audio. There are so many references in my video description. Please check that out. The first reference in that video description is a video by Task and Purpose that broke down and he showed, I'm going to call him the Patsy. I don't really want to call him by his real name. I don't want to bring him more attention. I'm going to refer to the shooter that was countershot by the Secret Service snipers as the Patsy. It shows the path of the Patsy, and I don't believe he's the one that was able to shoot off Trump's ear, but I'll get to that at the very end of this 5 minutes. And he does a great job of showing you the timeline and how he moved around and how police moved around and how police looked for him and how the police even like lifted each other up to look at him and then jumped off when he pointed the gun at him. So go ahead and check out that video. There are other videos in the video description. A really important video from Peak Prosperity that breaks down the audio. And again, I'm not going to play the audio. And there were 3 shots here, additional 5 shots, a 6th shot, and then which makes it 8 shots. Sorry, it makes it 9 shots already, right? This is shot number 9. There's 1, 2, 3. He breaks that down. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 in rapid succession, and then a 6th shot, and then the sniper counter shot. Really important videos to be aware of. I finally did watch the Jeff video where he breaks down the timeline. Huge problems here. Right here you see at 5:30, the Patsy is spotted with a rangefinder, and then at 5:52, he is spotted on the roof by the Secret Service, but that counteracts other timestamps. So on this timestamp, 5:30, he's standing there trying to gauge the range. At 52, he's already being spotted on the roof by Secret Service. And yet, in a different account of what happened, you can see at 5:51, a suspicious person with a rangefinder. But wait a minute, the other timestamp was 5:30 being the rangefinder. Now it's 5:51. He's using a rangefinder, and somehow 1 minute later, they're in this timestamp, they're looking for him, but in a different timestamp, the snipers see him on the rooftop. Huge discrepancies here. Hopefully, Congress will look into that. So again, another great video referenced in the video description. Now we have to talk about the AI tally video. I did not watch this video before, and I'm already going to be over my 5 minutes. Holy shit. In this video, it's a great video. The problem is they put the shooter or the Patsy in the wrong place. They have him on this edge of the rooftop, but as the next video points out, he's not here. He got shot way further down, and there's no way he had time to run all the way there. So this video breaks down that very, very likely, and it hypothesizes that the shooter was in the building behind them in a window. Okay, so That's what this video does, and it does a pretty damn good argument and a good job pointing to a second shooter right here in the window. Now, this is a great video from Redacted, talking about this was the perimeter, the Pac-Man perimeter, that did not account for the water tower, did not account for where the patsy was, did not account for that potential window. But then there is another video talking about the gymnasium. So again, I'm going to play this real quick. And Redacted is one of the only videos I've seen so far to break this down, because it adds another element to this, where you'll see it right now coming up. And this is in normal speed. Maybe these are the videos I should have sped up. Right there, I'm going to pause that. So if this is where the patsy was shot, and this is where the patsy should have been in order to shoot Trump the way Trump got shot, the window right behind him is the perfect angle, but apparently so is the Butler Gymnasium that no one is discussing, and this is 400 yards away. And the 400 yards away was something that people talked about right away, about the gunshots being some gunshots and some bullets seem to be more conducive to a 400-yard shot versus just a 150-yard shot where the patsy was. Now, here is another video broken down by Redacted on the tower. You see a shadowy figure standing on top of the tower, and then as the shots start firing, you see him disappear right behind. So clearly this person was not laying down in shooting position, unless he's incredible in holding that gun, and boom, he's gone, and then he reappears again. The video is a little grainy. Maybe there is a technology that could do that. There were also, live interview accounts talking about someone on the tower, and that someone on the tower getting shot by some snipers. So again, a little shaky on the accounts. I don't know if I would trust these people, but something to consider. Here's another analysis on Twitter about the shooter potentially coming from the water tower. I'm going to be ruling this out as I go through it in a minute. I just want to go through the resources. Here's another point. Trump is standing on the podium. These are the bleachers. Now, people got shot. I believe people got shot right here on this edge, and people got shot on a different edge. I'm not sure if it's on this rail on this side or that rail there. I have not spent enough time researching the trajectory of the bullets and how people were standing, the bystanders. I know one got killed, but a few others were wounded. Now, the shooter that everyone suspects was shot, the patsy was shot here. The AI tally video put the shooter here. The window was open right there, but what you don't see is the stuff in the background. There was another video. This is the Hag shot video that kind of debunked the fact that the shooter would have shot from here, because he would not have had the proper angle. Redacted had another great video about the communication breakdown, but these are failures in securing the site and managing the site. That's a very different thing. Also, keep an eye on this crazy lady right here, just instead of ducking, filming the event. So this is another good video to watch. Again, everything is referenced in the video description. And finally, these are another good video on the DEI insanity of the non-physical requirements that are necessary in order to guard the president. Okay, so where do we stand? So I went to a Google map and I put these points on a Google map. Here's the water tower. Trump was speaking right here. That's the water tower. This right here is the Butler Gymnasium. No one is discussing that had a clear line of sight with an elevated position in direct line with the window and with the patsy. If the patsy was on this side of the front building, having him shooting from this side of the building, while it's possible, it is actually less likely. So now I have a few other things to show you. So I did this. It was simply in paint. So here is the window. Now if I zoom in on this, let me just zoom in real quick. The Patsy was shot on this side of the back of the sloping roof. Also, insanity that this roof is too steep. These roofs where the snipers were, and I colored them in brown for the shitty job that they did, not neutralizing the threat prior to the threat shooting. And of course, the incompetent DEI agents were, I don't know, they might as well have been all the way out here. I couldn't help myself. Now, the best shooting angle would have been either from the window or from the gymnasium. Somebody also pointed out this barn. There was a little bit of chatter about it. I'm going to rule this out as well. If you draw a line, I didn't want to do it before. I wanted to do this one live. If there is someone in this barn or on top of the barn, I mean, at the best angle, you actually do have a somewhat clear sight. And technically, this could have happened. I mean, these buildings might have been in the way, but if he is shooting from the far side, maybe sitting on top of it, he can kind of avoid it. I also don't know the exact to the foot coordinate or where Trump was standing. It could have been here. It could have also been here. So I think that shot is very, very unlikely, but clearly nothing back here was guarded in any way, shape, or form. As far as the counter sniper goes, the counter sniper, these guys could not take the shot. There was a tree in the way. That's why there's no way he was out here, or they would have taken the shot. The shot came from the snipers on the south building, and they're the ones that were able to avoid this tree right here, and they had a much clearer sight. So the Patsy was on over here. I know my line draws it through the tree, but in reality, they were more in the middle, and they had a clear sight, missing the tree, and the tree was in the way of these snipers, and yet the shooter from this roof had a clear sight. Now, I'm not talking about all the insanity and the incompetence, the week leading up to the shooting, the day of the event, the prior days of the event. That is for other people. I'm just trying to figure out how many shooters there were. I believe that I've actually at first I thought that the shot would have come from the window, but there were a few cops in this building. Either they were too hot and they wanted to get indoors, but supposedly there were cops all around these buildings, except of course the back end of these buildings with the parking lot where he was able to put a ladder right here. He just like walked around. The metal detectors were right here. He just walked around and just like wandered his way into the parking lot, grabbed a ladder. He probably could have reparked his car right in here, brought a ladder up, climbed onto this building. Sorry, my bad. He brought a ladder right here in between these buildings, climbed right onto here. There were cops on this side. They might have been in the building, having a shooter here, even if he was, you know, a Secret Service, you know, plant, you know, from the deep state. If he was here, it would have also been hard for him to pick up the casings. You should know exactly which gun the Patsy fired, and he did, I believe he did fire several shots. And we're going to talk about one last thing. I can't believe I thought I can do this in 5 minutes. That is insane. And his casings will be found, but how many shots were there? Were there 10 shots in total? Were there 11 shots in total? So I'm about to play you a very interesting video that analyzes that the shots. And I'm saying that it's, you know, it's possible that the shooter could have come from this window, but considering how many cops there were inside, he would have had to have been dressed or have been an FBI agent or been dressed like and have credentials of Secret Service or some other law enforcement, which wouldn't surprise me at all with our deep state and how much they hate Trump. But if there was a shooter back here, he probably can go and pick up his casings tomorrow because nobody watches my videos and no one other than Redacted has mentioned this building at all, which had nobody in it. It does not have, it was Saturday. There was nothing going on. The building was closed. The window was open. You could have also sat on top of the building. He could have went there the next day. He had all week. He can go there tomorrow, pick up his casings, and you're never going to find them. Okay? I don't even think the Secret Service or FBI are even looking at this building. And the tower, the angle is just completely wrong for what happened because people got hurt in the bleachers right here with shots. Is it possible there was another shooter here that might have gotten shot? It's possible. So let me play you this one audio right now. And this was sent to me by a friend. I don't know. He's probably watching. I don't know if this. I asked him, is there a link? Anybody talked about this on YouTube? Has anyone put this up on Twitter? He's like, I don't know. I don't think so. He's like, somebody sent this to me. And this indicates that there were 11 shots and not 10 shots. So Peak Prosperity talked about they showed you 9 shots, and then he said that the 10th shot took place like 5 seconds later, and that was the snipers. So maybe there even were 11 shots. Let me play it right now. Hopefully you will be able to hear the audio.
Take a look at what happened.
Okay, so when Peak Prosperity talked about it, he talked about these 3 shots, and then he talked about 5 shots in being very, very rapid. Now, he also chalked up the echo from these shots. It might have been, according to this video and a different analysis, okay? There might have been just 4 shots fired by the Patsy, not 5 shots fired by the Patsy. Now, one of those other shots, the last shot, was probably the Secret Service shooting the Patsy. Yes, there could have been echoes. Somebody with audio analysis skills needs to analyze this particular video. I'm sure somebody will. I mean, if I got my hands on this video, people way better than me at this would have had their hands on this video or would have their hands on this audio file as well. So you definitely hear 3 shots first. Now, where did these 3 shots came from? I do not believe these shots came from the Patsy. These shots either came from the window or from the gymnasium. It was a different caliber weapon. It was a weapon with a scope, and that's why he was had a perfect angle on would have had a perfect angle on Trump and nicked his ear because he moved his head just in time, fired off 2 more shots, but those shots also missed. And then the Patsy starts firing, and then somebody else is firing. So this is a little bit tricky. Where are these shots coming from? They sound very different than these 3 shots. Maybe that's a 3rd shooter. Maybe that's an echo. If it's an echo, a little inconsistent here. Where are the echoes from these shots? Maybe this was somebody at the tower. I don't know. But I find the tower idea a little bit stretched. No one has analyzed anything on the barn. Not, like the bullet trajectories, no one has analyzed those yet. So I'm ruling that out as well. And then the eyewitnesses said someone in the tower got shot. If that is true, that explains the final 2 shots. One shot clipped someone in the tower who might have been just a lookout, or maybe he also had, a sniper rifle, and the final shot takes out the Patsy. So I am absolutely convinced that there was another shooter that actually nicked Trump's ear with the very first shot. That is my overall analysis. There's one more video in the video description that debunks the idea that this was all staged, and somehow an incredible sniper was able to nick Trump's ear on purpose. So this is kind of my end analysis on this, is that the shots slightly more likely would have come from back here, where the guy would have had plenty of time to pack up his weapon, pick up the casings, walk downstairs, take a selfie, I don't know, do some push-ups, dance around, and then get in this car and slowly drive away because no one was paying attention. They weren't even paying attention to these buildings. Why in the world would they pay attention to this building with a perfect line of sight that anyone with a Google account could figure out? I'm ruling out the water tower was the shooter that hit Trump. Now there's somebody was clearly on top of the water tower, whether that was an employee, whether that was an observer, whether that was another deep state agent on the lookout for the real shooter, communicating with him, or whether that was another shooter. But that shooter is not. I do not believe that's the shooter that nicked Trump. Might have been a shooter to create more confusion and shot a bystander. And the patsy was shot on this side of the roof. And it was very, very strange that the video by AI Tally, this video here, did an incredible analysis with an absolutely incredible analysis. If I play this video, but they have him on the wrong side. He's not there. That's not where he was. And he was all the way on the other side. And there's no way he would have made it from here to there. I mean, unless he's Superman, there's no way he could have done it. So I thought this was a very good video. It did play by play, but again, yes, that's the right angle, but that's not where he was. He was like maybe 25% of the way from the right side, not 98% of the way from the right side. Okay. So there was also one more cool video. Oh man, I'm gonna pull it up from the video description. I don't seem to have it there. And it's a video. Did I put it there? Where they debunked, yeah, Brandon Herrera debunking the state shooting. I thought this was really professionally done. It was great. They did this very, very quickly. This came out yesterday, where they literally had the same weapons as both the patsy and the snipers, and then they went and they literally tried to replicate. And this is what they did. They with slow motion, they perfectly replicated. The first time he tried, he hit the ear, but he didn't hit it perfectly. But he was shooting from much closer. He was shooting from like 10 yards away, because he said with that gun, there is no way in hell he can hit his ear from 150 yards. It would have been an impossible shot. And because that gun doesn't have a scope, it just has a red dot. If anyone ever fired an AR, and I fired an AR, the red dot is great. But there's no way you're going to be able to hit his ear, even if he has all day on a dummy model. So then he tries again from a very close distance. Right, so here's the distance he was shooting at in order to hit the ear. So he just wanted to show what it would be like to hit the ear. So he had to be at a very close distance. And the second time, he pretty much hit it perfectly. And this is like silicone, so it splatters, but then it kind of like comes back. So this is the model. And then he used the sniper rifle, just like you would, just like the same one that the snipers used. And this is also super cool. And this is the same sniper rifle as the Secret Service were using to take out the patsy, and just completely blows the head off. So I thought that was another great video. It's in the video description. Go ahead and check that out. Right. The red dot has no man. I mean, I've never shot one of these. That would be now I want to, but I have shot an AR-15. AR does not stand for automatic rifle. Just unfortunate. The guy's name, his initials are AR, that created it, and it's not an automatic weapon. It's a semi. But again, I'm not a gun expert. Not my expertise. Growing up in New York. And now traveling for a living. But yeah, this is my overview Wow, this video is way too long. Maybe I can like get this video and put, I wanted a 5-minute recap, but that's never gonna happen with me. That's it for me, guys. I just wanted to get it all out there in a concise way. And all the all my resources in the video description. I've watched as much as I could. This is how I was able to piece it together. Hopefully, more information comes out. More experts do videos. I don't care to watch more videos about the incompetence that took place the week before, the day of, during the shooting. I'm more curious, are they gonna only assume there was one shooter? Because there's no way there was one shooter. I would say there was a higher probability that there were 3 shooters versus one shooter. There's almost zero chance there was one shooter, and there's almost zero chance that the patsy shooter is the one that nicked Trump's ear. He might have hit a bystander or two, and even that is unlikely. Okay, that is my final analysis on this. I'm gonna end the screen share here. Thank you so much. Come out to Unconfiscatable in Las Vegas, September 16th. I'm wearing the shirt. And one last thing, Bitcoin is pumping. I will have to mention it since I went over my 5-minute time limit by a ridiculous amount. We're just going to glance a peek at the 1-hour chart. We just made a new swing high. We broke 68,000. Tomorrow, my portfolio will go from 75% to 100% bullish allocation, and hopefully we see new all-time highs. All right, thank you all for watching, guys, and I will see you all. Oh, am I not sharing the right screen? Let's try that. I might have been sharing the wrong thing. Thank you all for watching, guys. And I will, there's the price of Bitcoin. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.